Let me guess, you're watching this video because you are frustrated with Instagram. Well, I've been there, trust me. And I'm gonna talk to you in today's video about 5 reasons why you're not growing on Instagram. Hello. If you're new here, hi, my name is Amanda Kolbye and I am a business coach and online educator, and I help entrepreneurs start and scale online businesses using social media. So on this channel, you're gonna find tons more content about Instagram for sure, but also all different types of videos about marketing, sales, building an online business, tech tutorials, and some digital nomad content as well, because I happen to travel the world full time. So let's dive into today's video because I know you are frustrated along with everyone else under the sun with a lot of Instagram changes lately, but Instagram's still an amazing tool to help you run your business, connect with people, convert sales. It's still one of the main platforms that we use in our business. But social media changes, marketing changes, industries change, and you have to evolve with the times. And that's causing a lot of frustration for people right now. So if you feel like you have watched all the YouTube videos, listened to all the tutorials, watched all the mini trainings of other people, and things still aren't moving, you feel like you're still not growing, then you're tuned into the right video. We're gonna go over 5 different reasons why you're not growing and some things that you might be doing that are kind of out. And at the end, I'm gonna tell you my favorite secret way to grow your Instagram that's not on Instagram. Let's dive in. So I'm gonna assume, by the way, that you're being consistent. I'm gonna assume that you are showing up. This isn't day 1 of posting on Instagram, and that you have at least kind of learned how to create some content. We've been posting, we've been interacting, you've been doing all the basics, right? And if you haven't started doing all those basics, definitely check out some of the links below and up here, where we've got a lot of other Instagram videos that'll help you figure things out, like Reels and how to build know, like, and trust, how to sell, all of that jazz. But today, let's talk about you're doing all the things and it's not working. Okay, so the first reason why you might be not growing on Instagram is because you have to give them a reason to follow you. And I know you've probably heard this phrase before, so let me elaborate here, because this isn't just the basics of putting in your bio, being like, hey, I'm a tech expert, follow me because I'm gonna give you tech advice, right? Like it or not, the entrepreneur space, the Instagram space has grown a lot, especially over the past year and a half or so. So it absolutely is a little bit more crowded, but that doesn't mean there's not plenty of opportunity. It does mean, however, that you have to really work hard to stand out and make that very, very clear to your audience and anyone that's finding you. Why should they follow you? And what are they going to get from this account? How are you going to be memorable, right? Not just who are you and what are you about? How are you going to be memorable? It's got to be even deeper than that, right? So at the surface, do a quick audit of your Instagram. In fact, I even love asking like someone you just met and be like very open about this. Be like, hey, can you just audit my Instagram for me and tell me what you think I'm about without thinking too hard about it? You can literally do that, DM someone. But in looking at both the profile section and then the feed content as well, if someone is like quickly making some snap judgments, who are you? What are you about? How do you help them? And why should they freaking follow you, okay? Like that should be really, really crystal clear at any point in time when people are coming across you. Now, a big part of this is going to be your niche. I know we've all heard about niches so many times, and if you do want to watch a video on niching, I do have one up here. But what I mean by this is your niche is not just going to be the target market that you are marketing to, right? So for example, I serve service-based entrepreneurs primarily, so that is a big chunk of my target market, but I obviously get even more specific than that. But your niche is not just who you serve in your target market, it's also partially the niche down aspect of the products and services that you offer, right? So even just being a business coach for service-based entrepreneurs nowadays isn't enough to always make people want to follow you or really stand out and again, be memorable, get people to understand, ooh, yeah, I want to follow her, right? So we've got to get even more, it doesn't always have to be more narrow than that. Like you don't have to be just a sales coach, right? Or just a marketing coach for service-based entrepreneurs. But if we're not going to narrow down what we do to really stand out and be known for something, then the personal brand aspect really needs to be clear and come into play. And again, that profile in your feed post, so that when people are coming across you, you're giving them a reason to follow you, right? It's not just following you for marketing tips for service-based entrepreneurs, right? They're now also following you because, oh wow, you travel the world and they love seeing all these other countries, and that is a huge reason why they want to follow you and follow that content. So don't be afraid to allow the reason someone to follow you to be also reasons that are within your personal brand aspect to really stand out. The second reason you might not be growing on Instagram is because you need to be strategic. So in the past, we've been able to just kind of post and, I'm sure you've seen some formulas to make a caption and you throw it out there and bam, right? You're being consistent at least. But again, that's not enough, especially as a business owner where our main goal isn't just to get seen, it's to actually convert into sales. So if we're really trying to grow our account, we need to be strategic about the type of content that we're putting out there. So going back, we want to be giving people a reason to follow us. But there's so many different ways that you can use Instagram, right? Reels, IGTVs, lives, collaborations, stories, like so many different ways. Not only the ways of producing content, but then the context of what the content is, right? So let's boil this down. One, we need to be strategic and look at what's working and not working. So start putting content out there, but then make sure to actually assess. It's not just about what do you want to post. It's about what's resonating with your audience. What is helping you meet your goals? Are your goals right now to be in a heightened sales period and convert people? Or are your goals right now to get mass visibility and get in front of people? What type of content are we putting out to be strategic for each of those goals? And how are we assessing what's working and not working? A big part of this as well is going to be planning ahead. I am all for in the moment inspiration and really juicy content that comes out that way. But we don't want to rely on that every single day. It's going to be really hard to be strategic and lead people somewhere along with your content to achieve the certain goals that you want to be. So if you are not being strategic with your content, but we're just kind of checking off the box of going through the motions and creating a good isolated caption, we need a content strategy as a whole in order to really start to grow and kind of get a grip hold on your industry where, again, people are like, ooh, you got to follow this girl, this guy, they're amazing, right? So if you're having trouble being strategic with some of your content, definitely check out one of the links below in the content kit, which is a mini course that we have that helps you take one idea, turn it into 50 million different ideas, but then actually plan your content in a very strategic way that's not only going to achieve growth, but sales. Reason number 3 why you are not growing on Instagram. This one's a little bit of a harsh truth, but I'm going to tell it to you guys, okay? It is because you might not be being interesting or entertaining. Okay. At the end of the day, social media is about entertainment, right? We absolutely use it for business and networking and to learn certain things in education, but we're also always looking to be entertained. And so as the entrepreneur and like the Instagram space has grown and become more crowded, what used to work in the past with just educating, be like, oh, I know this knowledge, come learn from me, that used to work. I'm not saying don't educate, but it's not enough and it doesn't quite capture people in the same way that it used to. So we really want to be interesting and entertain our audiences, whether it's through a literal reel that's kind of fun and personal and entertaining, or whether it's through your stories and letting people in, showing them behind the scenes, showing them the authentic and vulnerable aspects of you and or your company and your brand, right? What people want and what are going to make people remember you and tell people about you that's creating this mass growth is they want to know, like, and trust you. That is why they're going to buy from you in a crowded space. So again, being consistent, showing up, getting visible, being strategic, all of those things alone, again, without being entertaining and interesting and building that know, like, and trust factor, it's not going to create the growth that you're looking for. So there's one thing to look at, the actions, right? Are we engaging? Are we getting in front of new audiences? Are we creating the strategic content, right? Like, that's a checklist. But then we have to look at the context of what we're putting out there. Are we letting people in? Are we showing our personality? Are some of the stuff we're doing just for fun to relate to our audience and be entertaining, right? We have to consider both of those arenas, because when you do really showcase your brand as interesting and entertaining and build that know, like, and trust factor, trust me, that growth happens like wildfire. Reason number 4 why you might not be growing on Instagram is because we need to drive interaction. Now, again, we've all heard, include a CTA, include a call to action, right, in your caption or your stories or whatnot. Absolutely still super good advice. But we, again, need to be really intentional about the way that we are driving interaction. So when we're engaging with other people and we're fostering those relationships, we're getting in front of them, starting conversations via comments and DMs and stories and all these things, remember that you get the choice to start that. So if you're looking to grow and get in front of new people, go be the initiator to start the conversations and start building relationships in your content. Initiate that, ask for that, and ask people to save it, to comment it, to tell you in the DMs what they thought about X, Y, and Z. But the more that you can foster conversation on the app using its tools, not only is the actual algorithm going to reward you, but also people are going to feel pulled to you, trusted to you, right? Like building that know, like, and trust factor. So on top of that, a big suggestion in driving interaction is using all the tools at your disposal. So like I said, Instagram has a lot of different tools to it, right? Reels, IGTV, feed posts, carousels, so many different ways now that you can show up on the platform. And if you're not already on the Reels train, definitely get on that one, because rather than resisting all the change that happens on these platforms, if you're going to rely on them, my opinion is if you're going to rely on these platforms to build your business, you have to play the game. Okay. So what I mean by that is if you're going to resist all day long all the evolutions that are happening in social media and try and stick with the way you used to use Instagram 2 years ago for your business, it's not going to work the same. So lean into the change, lean into the way and all the tools that they have at your disposal. And I promise you that combined with initiating and driving those interactions is absolutely going to facilitate growth. Now, before we get into the last tip, don't forget that at the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing my favorite secret tip for growing your Instagram that has nothing to do with Instagram. And we've also got a ton of other growth videos for Instagram, including Reels and sales and all of the juicy topics to help you up-level your marketing. So definitely check out the links below and tune into some of those videos as well. Reason number 5 why you might not be growing on Instagram is because you are stuck in a cycle. Like we said at the beginning of this video, you've most likely at this point watched all the YouTube videos, watched all the trainings. You're already being consistent and putting stuff out there. But that's just it. It's not always about coming up with a secret hack of engagement that no one else has heard of that you're going to do, right? But if you're stuck in your own cycle of just posting to post and showing up to show up, right? And you're doing the things, we may be lost in going through the motions where we haven't just paused and pulled back to really assess, okay, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What is my audience responding to? What is actually working here? What's a new approach that I could take to this in my unique industry to really stand out? Remember, it's not enough just to show up and be consistent anymore. We need to be memorable. We need people to really attach to us, relate to us in order to stand out. Standing out is a huge part of growth because the first barrier is going to be just freaking getting visible. But in order to really grow, it's not just about visibility. It's about scooping people back to you and keeping them in their world and making them want more of you and your content. So a huge part of that is being memorable and standing out. But if we're stuck in a cycle and things aren't working, pause, take a week off. Your business will not crumble, but you need to pause and reassess, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What's a new approach here? How could I, do some different collaborations, get in front of some different people, try out some new content, pull back and assess, did that work? Did that work, right? But while I wish I had a secret answer to you that would solve all of our growth problems, it's going to be unique for each and every one of you in your businesses, what exactly and how exactly you're going to need to grow. So if it's not working, then get out of your cycle. That is like the best advice that I can give you, as well as combining all of these different tactics and then being able to come back and assess what works for me and what works for my audience. Time for my secret tip on growing your Instagram. So if you are not already on TikTok, hello, come follow me on TikTok as well. But if you're not on TikTok by now, we've all seen the huge growth. It's not new anymore, but I know a lot of entrepreneurs are still pretty resistant or haven't fully gone over to the TikTok side of things. Let me tell you this, if you are looking to grow your audience, as in volume, get in front of new people or just more people, TikTok is where it's at. And most business owners who have been getting on TikTok and most clients that I've helped in getting on TikTok have been able to see really quick and good growth, not just fake followers, right? Or random people, like good growth as business owners that actually convert back, and how you can use TikTok in short to help grow your Instagram because you've really built an established good presence there, is using TikTok as a visibility strategy to continually get more eyeballs and growth and lead everyone on TikTok back to your Instagram to further nurture and convert them. Now, there's a lot of different TikTok strategies out there, and go ahead and comment below if you want me to do a TikTok video, as we're testing out a lot of new strategies as we're going all in on TikTok as well as another new platform. But this is kind of the overall idea of one way that we're going to be approaching it, and that I've seen many other successful service-based entrepreneurs utilize TikTok to grow their Instagram Instagram. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to help us keep creating all this awesome content for you. And don't forget to check out some of these other videos here all about marketing, sales, building your online business, and of course, traveling the world.